So hi everyone, this is Supa. So as Summer introduced, I'm the CEO of HowBottle, and currently I'm at Shanghai in China. So in the screen there is my profile, but you can just skip it. So my sharing topic for today is how your consumer behavior save the planet. So it's like nowadays we cannot live without buying things. Like every day we buy food, we buy clothes, we use transportation, and it's like everything that is it costs everything we call is consumption. So it's like consumer material, consumer our mother nature, and all these kind of things. But on the other side, I don't know whether you have ever think about it's actually consumer behavior can also be our saver of our environment too. Before I start to share my share my topic today, I would like to ask everyone to do a little reflection. There are three questions on the screen. So the first one is, what was the last time you bought a new clothes or bags? Like maybe yesterday or the day, it's like or 1 week ago. The second question would be like, have you ever think about what they were made from? Have you ever checked the text, like to see the materials, what kind of materials are made from, are made for your bags or for your clothing? And are you curious about like where they come from? And the last question would be like, how many new clothing you bought in the last 12 months? And is it necessary that you need that much of clothes for every day or for every year? As we all know that the fashion industry is actually the second largest polluter in the world behind the oil and the gas industry. As you can see on the screen, that 97% of the material that we use to produce clothing are actually virgin. And 93% of them are plastic. You can see that we basically produce 15.3 million tons of fibers, like annually, every year, to satisfy our need for clothing. And 17.3% of them went to landfill or incinerate. It's kind of like we took all the efforts to create the clothes, and then maybe within 3 months or 6 months, it was discharged into the environment. It's a huge waste. And I don't know how many people would know about this small knowledge. Actually, all the plastic that we use are made from crude oil. That is a non-recyclable material on the earth that it took millions years to produce the oil. And the material that we use for clothing, such as polyester, nylon, all of them are chemical fiber, which means that they are made from crude oil. And as we all know, the oil industry is really it's really a huge pollution to the earth. They create a lot of carbon dioxide and maybe resulting into the global climate change. And other than the carbon dioxide emissions, also the microfibers that we peel off from our clothing is also polluting our sea, the oceans. There are 22 million tons of microfibers were added into the ocean between 2015 and 2015 if we didn't do anything about it. So here is another research that we can see often, that for all the plastic that we have been created since 1950, since the discovery of plastics, only 9% of them were recycled. Most of them they went into landfill and were also incinerated. So other than creating climate change, it's also doing a lot of harms to the other creatures in the nature, because we all know that plastic is durable, which also means that it's really hard to break down into the environment. That is also another reason why plastic were produced or were produced, because it's durable. It's like every day we use, we want to make sure that it's durable. But for our humankind, it's durable, but for the environment, it's hard to break down. So like on the other side, durable means that it can be recyclable. Plastic is not, it's like we see a lot of news telling us how evil the plastic is, like how they were polluting the environment and how they were doing a lot of harms to our Mother Earth. But when plastic was discovered, it was meant to save the Earth, because without plastic, all the clothing that we need to make from cotton, need to make from trees, and we don't have that much resource to produce so many cottons or so many trees. So that is why plastic were produced in the very beginning. But because we are not recycling the plastic, that is the reasons why it becomes a polluter to the earth. So we can see that plastic it's in our daily life, from the clothing. Other than clothing, we use a lot of single-use plastic bottles, like what we've seen on the screen. For our teams, like even to me, I love to do a lot of sports, and I love to run too. So every time I participate into a running activity, I saw a lot of plastic bottles were discharged alongside the roads, like people were running, drinking water, and then they just throw it away. But as we know, it takes a lot of efforts to produce a plastic bottle, and it only serves us for like 1 minute, and then they will discharge. Combined with the message that plastic is actually recyclable, I was thinking like, what can we do? How can we recycle all this plastic? And how can we convey this message to more people? So there come an idea. After doing a lot of research, we found out that the chemical structure of the PET bottle actually is the same as the polyester, the fiber that we use to create clothes. So we were thinking like, why we recycle all the single-use plastic bottles and made it into something more durable, like the clothes that we use for every day. So there actually there was the original of why we have this company and why we have the name HowBottle, because that actually is the original of the brand. How we can recycle bottles, how we can make bottles more useful, durable. So that is the history of the name of the name. And for HowBottle, we are a sustainable lifestyle brand that turns single-use recycled plastic into something more durable, like clothing and bags and all these kind of things. By doing this, we want to inspire more and more consumers to buy more environmentally friendly and better. So on the left is a painting that we use to demonstrate how we turn PET bottles into the products that we sold. So like you can see on the top, that is a dirty bottle that we throw away like every day. We recycle all this bottle, and we clean it, we cut it into pieces, and then we melt it down into small particles. And then we put all the particle back into the machines to melt it again, and then spin it into fiber. And then we from fiber we make it into textile, and then we design all our products from the material that are using recycled material. So that is how a bottle can be turned into bags and clothing. Because we are a social enterprise. That means that the reason why we start a company not only is to make money, but also trying to solve a social problem. For the problem that we are focusing on, trying to solve the problem of single-use plastic pollution, to recycle all the plastic that we have created, and promoting more people to use products that are more sustainable. So so on the screen is our theory of change. It means that how we trying to achieve our goal. So you can see on the screen that for every product that we produce, we use recycled materials. And for every promotions for marketing campaign, we try to advocate for sustainable consumption, which I can show you some case in the later. And then what's most importantly, we want to demonstrate to the society or to the large brand that environmentally friendly material is actually favorable in the market, that people would love to buy product that made from recycled material. Because for a lot of large brands like maybe Nike, Adidas, H&M, and Zara, they were afraid that the consumer would not buy product that made from recycled material. But for us, as a small company, we can be flexible. We can try a lot of new things. So for us, we try to demonstrate to everyone that people love it. If you design it fashionable enough, cool enough, good looking enough, people would love to buy it. And by doing that, we might invite more global brands to use recycled materials. And by doing that, the whole industry might be more interested in using recycled material. So maybe in future, fashion industry might not be the most polluted polluter on the earth. We are also a big corporate certified corporate, which means that from our productions to our operations, and even to the team management, we met the highest standard. So we focusing on environmental, we focusing on people rights, we focusing on transparency, and we focusing on accountability. It means that like every small operation, that every small decision that we make, we'll think about whether it's profitable, whether it's environmentally friendly, and whether we take our employees and our community into account. So we established in 2016, and for the last 5 years, we recycled 75 million plastic bottles, and by doing that, we actually saved 29 tons of crude oil and reducing 29 tons of carbon emissions to the earth. It's not that much, but it's something for us. So with all that saying, how our products look like. So right now, I'm going to share some of the products that we are selling right now to demonstrate that recycle product that are using recycled material, it's fashionable enough. So the first product you can see, it's a backpack. It's a normal one, but not only the material that we use are recycled material, but we take sustainable design into our account. So you can see that we have double layer for our backpacks to make sure that like people can use this bag for their working, for their commute, and also they can use this bag for their gym. So if you can have one bag to, you know, to satisfy all your need, you don't need to buy a second bag. So like if you want to consume more sustainably, the first thing that you need to do is to buy less, right? And also it's like this is another bag that we produced last year. So it's like you can have different methods to wear your bag. So like instead of buying two bags, one bag isn't good enough. And we also have some like a very colorful designs. Like this is what we call picnic bag that you can use it to, you know, buy vegetables and you know, to go out for picnics. Also have some small bag that is suitable for just a cell phone. So if you just want to bring less things to go out, it's a good bag for you. So design for that, like that product they use recycled material, it's a what we call it's a we were thinking it's like how we can expand our influence, our impact to more people. So other than selling our own products, we also do a lot of co-branding campaigns to partner with the brand that have been known to a lot of consumers in order to spread our message. So here is a backpack that we co-create with Chinese space agency. So like it was designed like a space ship or a space machine, right? And then by doing that, we also have a by doing that, like the people who might be interested into the space would be interested in us. And also we co-brand with like maybe one of the largest polluter in the earth, Coca-Cola, to try to tell more people about like the plastic bottle can be recycled into like clothing. So we design a raincoat. We call it caring code. You can see there's a pattern at the back of the clothes writing, I don't care. But why we call it a caring code? Because it's a raincoat, like when the pattern meets the water, it will change color from I don't care into I do care. So it's like a small, you know, fun designs to try to attract more people into being interested into our product, especially the young people, because we think that the young people are more willing to accept new concepts such as sustainability, such as trying to new things. Why not, instead of buying clothes that are using virgin material, why not try to buying product that use recycled material, right? So like this is the demonstrate of how the pattern can change color when they met water. On every product, we put a drawing on the product so that people will understand, oh, this is not a normal product. It is a product that made from recycled material. So it's a more easy ways to tell how special the product is. So like for our packaging, because for us, we focusing on trying to solve the problem of single-use plastic. So we never use plastic for our packaging. So all the packaging for our product, we use recycled paper. It's like a packaging, so that like when you receive the product, you open it, it's like opening a present. So it's like it's something that we do a lot of research to see how people are more willing to accept new concepts. It's like you need to like think more about how you're doing your package, how you're conveying your message and all these kind of things. And we keep track It's like how we keep track on all our environmental impacts. Like at the very first, we shared that we have recycled 75 million bottles so far. So for every product we produce, we would calculate like it's made from how many bottles. We have a method to calculate how many plastic bottles will need to make a product like this. So by putting the numbers onto our product, it not only gives us a ways to calculate our environmental impact, but it also conveys a message to the consumer that like this bag is made from 24 bottles. Wow, that's interesting. This clothing is made from 13 bottles. Oh wow, how did you make it? Like by using this simple message, it picked people's curiosity on like, oh, this is not a normal product. It's a product that made from bottles. How they made it. It's like by doing that, people getting more curious. They want to know more about where the material comes from, how you made it, and they want to know more about the story behind the brand. And by doing this, like people, they would gradually change their consumer like mindset. Like next time when I buy a new clothes or when I buy a new product, I want to see like what they will make from. And are they environmentally friendly enough? Are they made from recycled material or natural material or all these kind of things? And also the packagings, like I was talking about the packaging before. So for all the packagings that we use, we never use plastic packaging. We try to use paper packaging, and the paper need to make from recycled paper, so it would be more environmentally friendly. We don't want to create new things. We want to recycle the material that have been already created. And we also try to, to think about how we can use less material when we were designing the product. Like we design the packaging like perfectly fit our product. We don't do actual things to make it look better, right? And other than the packaging, we also think about like we have already been recycling the plastic bottles to make bags and clothing. But if I don't want to use the product again, like, can you recycle it again? Like that is the question that we were asked to us like many times. So we were thinking like, yeah, why not? We can also launch our own recycling products to recycle back all the product that we have been manufacturing, and we will collect them. And then when we recycle enough amount, we will ship it to the factories to melt it down again and then make it into material again, and then we recycle all the things again. So it's like recycling. That is our key message in our brand. This is another like material that demonstrates how we how we source our material, and this is the principle that we use for all our products. As we know that like using material to make product is cool, but we also have some restrictions on technology. There are certain parts of the product that we cannot use recycled material, that we need to use a virgin material, or maybe there hasn't any new technology emerged to the earth that we can use recycled or more environmental friendly material. But we try our best to make sure that like 19% of our product needs to use recycled material. for the textile that we use, the recycled part should be more than 90%. So by holding us to the highest standard, whatever we do, we try to make sure that we are solving the problem that we were meant to solve, that is the single-use plastic pollution. Other than making products, we also do a lot of activities to promote sustainable fashions and to advocate for a sustainable consumer. We have our own community to share the knowledge between each other, and we also have a lot of activity online and offline to share our knowledge on how to consume more sustainable, or how to pick or choose sustainable products. If we can, for example, like we produce clothing, right? But what if I want a more sustainable cups? Or what if I want a more sustainable, I don't know, pillows or whatever? So because we are in the industry, so we know that there might be other brands or company are producing this kind of products. So we will promote it to the people, to community, so that they can try to find the best solutions to buy products, right? And also, it's like we sell sustainable products. We advocate for sustainable consumer and behavior, but also as our employee, we need to live by doing, right? So here are some of the things that we do in our working environment. So it's like our office is a co-working space. So we don't just rent a brand new office that might consume a lot of energy. And also we have a small gardens in our office. We can plant our own vegetables, but most of the time it can only serve one people. But anyway, it's like it's a things that we do. We try to do. And we also have our own recycling system in our office to recycle plastic, papers, and all these kind of things that we think can be reusable. And more, we also have our own office kitchen, so that people can, like our employee, don't need to order takeaway or take out for their lunch and dinner. So we try our best to not only advocate for sustainable behavior, but living by doing. So that is like all the things that we did as a company, all the things that we were trying to do to promote sustainable consumers, like to demonstrate to the society that it is a way. There's a way that you can buy more sustainable. There is a way that you can live more sustainable. And also as a company, we also want to establish like a standard that's not that as a company you can be like environmental friendly, social conscious, also profitable. So for us, we envision that a global company that use business as a force for good, not as a force to make profit. And like we established in 2016, so it's like it's our 5th year. So it's like by still being a brand, being a company and operating, we kind of like demonstrate to the business world that like social enterprise is possible. It's like you can earn money by doing good things. And we want more companies to join us. Like we want more people, when they were starting a new company, think about the business model that they might be used, and to think about long-term instead of short-term like economic gain. Because in long, it's like however you are doing business, like you need to do within the earth. But if you polluted the environment, if you harming the relations between your community, it's kind of hard for you to earn money in long term. So yeah, that is my sharing. We plan to, but it's like it takes time, and we need to find the suitable technology to do it. In our next steps, we are collaborating with our packaging companies, trying to recycle the paper packaging that we distribute. We are going to create we are going to establish a machine that they can compose all the paper packaging that we will distribute. But it's a demo. We are still working on it and see whether it's economic possible for us to recycle all the packaging that we distribute, or maybe other people's other brands' packaging. So right now we think that because we create our own packaging, so we know what kind of material that we use. So for first of course, the first step we were thinking are only recycling our own products, because we know what they're made from. Like in the recycling industry, if you want to make sure that the end product can be used, like it's as good as the virgin material, you need to make sure that you know what you are recycling. So the first step, we can only recycle the product that we produce, because we know what exactly it was made from. But maybe in the future, if the technology from chemical recycling become more feasible, we might consider that we can recycle other brands' material or products or packaging or whatever. Because right now we do have the technologies to chemically recycling all the products, which means basically you don't need to know what kind of material they were made from. You can recycle it, but it's too costly. Like you need to put a lot of money in it in order to recycle the product, and it's not feasible for our companies to do it. But maybe in the future, if more technology will emerge, maybe they can lower the cost, and maybe we can to use the most advanced technology to do recycling. So in recycling, it's like for material. Right now, it's like for virgin material, if it was made into product, we call it post-consumer material. So right now, the recycling technology that we are currently using are mechanical recycling. It means that by recycling multiple times, the quality of the material will going down. So maybe for the first time, from PET bottle to the product, like we can make it into textile and make it into bag and clothing. For the second time, like if you give back the product that we made after you're using it, the material cannot be recycled into fiber again, into the best quality fiber again. It might be recycled into the lower quality fiber, and it can be made in like carbons or like other material that is not clothing. It's like other textile material. So it's like by multi times recycling, you might not be able to use it again. So it's like for us, why we say that we were looking forward to lower the cost for chemical recycling, because it won't be a problem for the chemical recycling. It's like it's a chemistry, right? It's like you break down all the material and then you form it again, so it won't lower the quality for the material. But I think it might still take 3 to 5 years for that technology to be mature. But it's promising. So right now it's like for second recycling or third recycling, we might be done recycling. But I think in the future, it's like the quality would be as good as a raw material or a virgin material. So yeah, good question too. So right now we don't directly collect the plastic bottle because it's a huge land, like in China. We cooperate with our recycling partners. They are the people that are recycling the product, and cutting the plastic bottle into pieces, and then all these kind of things. So we rely on the whole supply chain to do this process. There is no factory or company can do the whole process by their own because it's costly. Yeah. Yeah, our own company, we don't own any machines to do that because like it's like a billions dollars to own a machine. But we partnered with our other people, other factories to do it. But we screen every factory. It's like for every new factory that we cooperate with, we will go to that factory on site to see whether they are following all the principle, whether they I don't know, distribute dirty water into the river or all these kind of things. So we have a teams to evaluate the factory and evaluate our partners to make sure that they meet the highest standards. Yeah, that is a really good question. So right now for us, we are trying to expand. So which means that we need to spare our brands to more people, and it takes a lot of efforts to do that because a lot of people are still thinking whether people will buy sustainable product or not because they haven't any concrete research on the earth that okay, there are millions of people will definitely buy sustainable products or whatever. It's a new thing. So it means that we don't have other people, other benchmarks to see how to make it happen. So it's all new things. We need to try it ourselves to find the right path to create to spare our brands to produce more favorable products to the consumer. Sure. So we are Chinese. We are a Chinese company. So like all the products, all the research, and all the marketing strategy we use are based on the behavior and mindset of Chinese people. But for us, we are really curious about like how people outside China think about sustainability and what kind of philosophy are behind them to make them be interested in buying more sustainable because like for me what I know is that in China people buy sustainable product because they think it's cool, it's fashion, like it's a new technology that the people around me never heard about. So I want to show that I'm a special person. So I'm a cool person. So I would buy a sustainable product and tell the stories to the people around me. And as we know, it's like for the people maybe in US or in European or in Europe, they buy sustainable product maybe because they feel guilty about what they have done. They feel guilty about polluting the environment. They feel guilty about like using too much single-use products. So it's kind of like redemption for them to buy sustainable products. It's a totally different mindset between Chinese people to UK and US people. So I was thinking, like, what about in your countries? Like, why people buy sustainable products? What they value most? It is more fashionable. It is more, I don't know. It's like, I really want to know what kind of message will pick people's interest in trying to buy sustainable products. Sure. For us, you can see from the designs and all the color that we use, we are actually focusing on young people that are aged from maybe 18 to 35. These are the people that we think are more acceptable to new concepts. They are more willing to try new things. So this is the group that we were interested in promoting our brands to them. Yes, it's the job for the company, and it might take like 10 different factories to do the job. So there might be a factory or a company organization that they are collecting bottle from all over the land, and then there will be another company that take over and to separate and to try to pick the good quality bottle from the bad one, because the bad one cannot be recycled into good fiber. They might be downcycling or whatever. And then there would be another factories to wash the bottle and to cut it into pieces. And then they would be shipped it into another company, another factories to melt it down to make it into particle. And then another factory to make it into fiber, and then another company is to make it into textiles. So it's like it takes like maybe 10 different factory or organizations to finish the whole job. So that is why we said that like recycling is actually a complex process to do it. It's not like that you give me 10 bottles and I can give you a t-shirt, right? It's a really good question. For us, we might not thinking about expense to do the other job because it's not economical feasible. Like for every product that everybody use, it actually takes like more than 10 organizations or companies to do it. It just you didn't know it. Like for example, do you know that Nike now own no factory? They don't have any manufacturing. They outsource it to the other countries to do it. So that the professional people can do the professional jobs. Like for us, if we are specialized in finding the best recycled material and trying to find the best scenario to using that material, we would be using it. And for the other, maybe for our partner, they specialize in making the highest quality fiber. So they would do that. It's hard for them to be a brand. It's hard for us to be a factory. So it's like if every people use their own expertise to do the job, I think it would be more efficient, to make sure that the whole circular economy can run. So sure, it's like it's about value. It's like, our partner is not the only factory in China, to make recycled material, to make recycled fiber. But the reason why we choose them as our long-term partner, because it kind of like he's a nerd. Like all the product that he produced is recycled. Like for a lot of textile factory, like they made textile that make them the most money, right? But for his, like I only make recycled material. And for his, like he wants to recycle all the plastic bottle in the earth. It's like it's his vision. So it's like for us, we choose our partner very seriously. It's like we will talk to the boss of the factory to make sure that we have the same value, we have the same goal. It's like because like we stay in the office in Shanghai. It's not like that we were standing by them to make sure that every procedure is at our principle. So it's relying on their values to make sure that the manufacturing of their the manufacturing is with our standard. So we like for every new factory that we partner, I would personally go to them and talk to them, to drink tea with them, to have lunch with them, and talk about what they believe and why they choose to to work in sustainability. So yeah.